Hey everyone, Logan here from the Spalty Dog. So today I'm going to show you how I made this modern industrial desk. Now with that said, let's go ahead and get into the build. I start off by milling some ambrosia maple for the top. Per usual, I'm jumping back and forth between the joiner, planer, table saw, and miter saw to get everything squared up into final dimension. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see a video covering the milling process in more detail. After that, I can apply some glue to the boards and get everything into clamps. The F-clamps on each end of the panel help keep the boards from shifting, while the parallel clamps do their thing. Ambrosia maple usually has bug holes throughout the wood, so after taping the underside, I filled them using Total Boat high performance epoxy that I tinted black with charcoal powder. I then went over the epoxy with a heat gun to remove any air bubbles and left it to cure. I set the top aside and start working on the base by cutting the steel to length on the chop saw. Also, since the front legs are angled, they needed to be cut at 15 degrees. I've been telling myself for a while to get one of these saws, and let me tell you, this thing is a beast. Not only did it cut fast, clean, and accurately, the steel never once heated up. To prep the steel for welding, I grind a bevel on the ends over at the belt sander. Using a wire cup attachment on the drill, I remove any surface rust and clean all the pieces with acetone. I hold the leg assemblies together using a couple squares, tack weld all the joints, then come back to run full beads, making sure not to overheat the steel. After that, I grind down all the welds with an angle grinder and flap this. Following the same steps as earlier, I tack on the top stretchers to attach both leg assemblies to one another. After checking for square, I move on to attaching the stretchers for the front guard. I then go back and finish any welds and grind them smooth off camera. Using the angle grinder, I cut some flat bar into tabs that will be used to secure the top to the base. I also cut some sheet metal to cap the open tubing on the base and legs. With a magnet to hold the cap in place, I tack weld all of the seams, then grind everything smooth with an angle grinder. I weld on the tabs I just cut to the base, then drill oversized holes in each one to screw through when securing the top. Off camera, I cut down this perforated sheet to size. Using 3/4 inch plywood scraps, I inset the sheet and tack weld it in place. To prep for finish, I go back and clean the entire base again with acetone, then spray everything down with a few coats of a clear satin finish. The next day, I came back to remove any excess epoxy from the top and sand everything up to 120 grit. Then I rounded over all the edges using an 1/8 inch roundover bit in the trim router. After that, I water popped the grain and sanded once again at 120 grit. I wiped down the top with mineral spirits to remove any dust prior to finish. After letting the mineral spirits dry, I applied Rubio Monocoat to the top and run over everything with a buffer to remove any excess finish. Then I wipe everything down one more time with a blue shop towel for good measure. All that's left to do is screw on the top and we can call this one done. Looking back on this project, I don't think it could have gone any smoother. I went into this build with a vision and just did the thing. Now I know this won't always be the case, but I'm going to enjoy the win while I can. I love how this desk turned out and would love to hear your thoughts as well. As always, I want to thank you again for sticking around this far, and if you liked what you saw, consider subscribing to stay up to date on future projects. I hope to catch you on the next one.